What if we are not the first civilization on Earth? Let that question settle softly in your mind, like a feather drifting gently to the ground. In the stillness of this moment, as you listen, allow yourself to imagine the immense canvas of time that stretches behind us, time that reaches back not hundreds or thousands of years, but millions, even billions. Time so vast that our own history feels like a small candle flickering in a dark and endless night. The Earth has been alive for over 4.5 billion years. In that expanse, continents have drifted, seas have formed and disappeared, mountains have risen and eroded to dust. Across those ages, life has blossomed and faded again and again, in endless cycles of renewal. If our human story spans only a few thousand years of recorded history, is it so impossible to imagine that others may have walked here before us? Entire civilizations, perhaps, that flourished and disappeared so completely that only the faintest echoes remain. Close your eyes if you like, and picture a time long before our kind. Imagine the world as it may have looked tens of millions of years ago. Vast forests stretched endlessly, filled with creatures that no longer exist. The air was thick and humid, carrying the scent of life in full abundance. Oceans teemed with beings that would seem strange to our eyes, and continents were not yet shaped as we know them. In such a world, is it possible that an intelligence, perhaps unlike ours, once arose? Maybe they built in ways we cannot now recognize, using tools and structures that nature has since reclaimed. The Earth is not a static place. It renews itself. Constantly, rocks are weathered and recycled. Oceans rise and fall. Glaciers carve valleys, and volcanoes cover the land with fresh layers of stone. Over millions of years, even the grandest monuments would vanish, swallowed by shifting crust and the slow hand of erosion. What then would remain of a civilization from deep time? Perhaps nothing visible to us today. Perhaps their works lie, buried miles beneath our feet, folded into the heart of mountains, or hidden beneath the seabed. Consider the ocean floor. Most of it has not been explored, and much of it is younger than we imagine, constantly renewed by the slow spreading of tectonic plates. If something once stood there, it may now be erased, recycled into the mantle of the earth itself. The land, too, is not eternal. Forests and deserts change, rivers shift their paths, and ice advances and retreats. Over millions of years, landscapes become unrecognizable. If a civilization had flourished in the deep past, its traces could be scattered, fragmented, or lost altogether. And yet, there are whispers in the geological record, strange patterns, unusual formations, and unexplained artifacts found in layers of rock older than any known culture. Scientists often dismiss them as anomalies, natural quirks, or but for those who dream of mysteries, they are like small windows, hints that perhaps the story of life on Earth is far more complex than we imagine. Even if such clues are uncertain, they spark wonder. What if the story of civilization is not a single line, but a repeating cycle? What if there were others, long ago, whose presence has been erased by time? As you breathe slowly, allow that thought to drift through you. Imagine civilizations rising like waves on a vast ocean of time. One wave crests and falls, leaving behind faint traces, and another follows, again and again. We are but the latest wave, the newest crest on that eternal sea. The sea itself remains, vast and deep, carrying all the memory of those who came before. Perhaps the mythologies of our ancestors carry faint echoes of these forgotten worlds, stories of golden ages, of civilizations destroyed in floods or fires, of gods who walked among mortals. Are they simply imagination, or do they remember, in symbolic form, the remnants of earlier ages? Myth is a language older than writing, a way of remembering truths in stories when details cannot be preserved. As you listen now, perhaps those myths are less like fiction and more like distant memories of times long before our own. The silence of the night around you mirrors the silence of those forgotten civilizations. Their voices have long since faded, their cities have crumbled, and their names are no longer spoken. Yet in the quiet, their possibility remains. We cannot hear them, but we can imagine. And in imagining, we keep their memory alive, even if they never truly existed. Think of a forest at dusk. The trees whisper with the wind, the ground is soft with moss, and the air carries the last light of day. Such a forest may have stood millions of years ago, when creatures we cannot know roamed beneath the canopy. In that forest, could a being have looked up at the stars as we do now, and wondered who else might exist. The thought is soothing, a reminder that curiosity itself may be as old as life. The urge to wonder, to dream, may not belong to us alone, but to any being who gazes into the night sky, and the stars themselves are timeless companions. They shine as they always have, long before humans, long before even the earth itself. If other civilizations did exist, they too would have seen these same stars, felt the same quiet awe beneath their glow. Across millions of years, the constellations shift, but the light endures. We are connected, perhaps, by that shared starlight, across ages and across civilizations. As you drift deeper into rest, allow yourself to float in this vastness. You are safe here, part of a story far older and greater than any single life. The earth holds secrets it may never reveal, but the mystery itself is a gentle comfort. We are not alone, not just because of the stars above, but because of the possibility that others may have come before us, walking this same ground, dreaming their own dreams, long before our time. And so the story continues, soft and unhurried. The earth turns, the stars shine, and we, for a moment, add our voices to the endless song. When we are gone, perhaps others will follow, and perhaps they too will wonder if they were the first. The mystery will remain, and in that mystery, there is peace. The earth holds within it a memory that we cannot fully read. Layers of stone are like pages in a book, yet most of that book has been weathered, torn, or rewritten by the forces of time. As we look at these fragments, we try to piece together a story. We see the rise and fall of mountains, the slow drift of continents, the long cycles of ice and warmth. These are the chapters we know, but between the lines there may be whispers of something more. The possibility of civilizations long gone, buried deeper than our science yet dares to imagine. Imagine yourself standing on a wide plain, beneath a sky turning golden with the setting sun. The wind carries a faint song through the grasses, and the horizon stretches endlessly. Now, let that plain shift in your mind. Picture it millions of years ago, when the climate was different, when rivers carved new paths and forests covered the land. Could there have been beings here, long before us, shaping the world in ways that have since been erased? Perhaps they left no stone cities, no monuments of steel, but traces in forms we no longer recognize. When we think of civilization, we think of stone and metal, of writing and cities, of roads and machines. But what if another civilization followed a different path? What if they built with materials that did not last, or lived in harmony with nature so completely that they left little behind? Their achievements might not be in architecture or technology as we know it, but in wisdom, in connection, in understanding the living world. Such a civilization could rise and fall, leaving only faint ripples, like the memory of a dream upon waking. As you breathe slowly, consider how fragile human memory is. We struggle to remember even the stories of a few thousand years ago, and many are already lost. Entire cultures have vanished from history, leaving us with only fragments, pottery, carvings, songs whose meanings we can no longer grasp. If this is true for such a short span of time, what then of millions of years? Civilizations older than we can imagine may have vanished so completely that only silence remains. And yet, silence itself has a voice. The quiet of the deep ocean, the stillness of deserts, the endless patience of mountains, they all speak to us in ways beyond words. In those voices, perhaps, is the memory of ages past. A civilization need not leave monuments to have existed. The earth itself may remember them in ways we have not yet learned to see. In recent decades, thinkers and scientists have begun to explore this idea more deeply. Some call it the Silurian hypothesis, the possibility that industrial civilizations may have existed on Earth long before humans. The idea is not widely accepted, yet it raises profound questions. If such civilizations did exist, would we be able to detect them? After millions of years, would any evidence survive? Perhaps not. Geological processes might erase their traces, folding them into the Earth's crust, scattering them in sediments, burying them beneath oceans. Imagine a vast city, shining with life and energy. Imagine its towers, its roads, its people. Now let time sweep across it in great waves. The buildings collapse, the forests return, rivers wash the stone away, and ice grinds the land into dust. 100,000 years pass, then 1 million, then 10 million. What remains? Perhaps nothing more than a thin layer of unusual minerals or a subtle chemical trace in the rocks. To us, it would appear natural, indistinguishable from countless other layers. Yet hidden in that stone might be the faint fingerprints of a civilization we can no longer see. Even now, we find mysteries in the geological record, strange deposits of carbon, unusual isotopes, sudden shifts in climate. Most are explained as natural processes, but some leave room for wonder. Could they be signs of something more? We may never know for sure. But in the quiet hours of the night, when we allow ourselves to dream, we can imagine that they are whispers from deep time, hints that others may have come before us. Let your mind drift now to the ocean, vast and endless. Beneath its surface lie mountains higher than Everest, valleys deeper than the Grand Canyon, plains that stretch for thousands of miles. Most of this world is unexplored, hidden in darkness. If civilizations once lived there, their ruins may rest now in silence, covered in silt, unreachable by human eyes. The ocean is both a cradle and a grave, nurturing life while swallowing history. To listen to the ocean is to listen to the memory of Earth itself. And beyond the ocean, there is the desert. Endless sands stretching beneath the stars, dunes shifting in the wind. Deserts are places of stillness, of timeless silence. Yet many deserts were once seas, fertile plains, or great forests. What may lie buried beneath their sands? Fossils remind us that the land was once alive with creatures unimaginable. If civilizations once walked there, their bones and works may now be hidden deep beneath the surface, waiting in quiet patience. In your own breathing, there is a rhythm, like the rhythm of the earth. Inhale, exhale, like the waves of the ocean, like the rise and fall of civilizations. Nothing remains the same forever. All things pass, yet all things leave echoes. Even if the echoes are faint, even if they cannot be measured, they remain in the heart of existence. Consider the possibility that civilizations are not accidents, but patterns. That intelligence arises again and again, like flowers blooming in spring. Each bloom is different, yet each is connected to the cycle of life itself. We may not be the first, and we may not be the last. We are part of a vast unfolding, a story, written not in books but in the stars, in the rocks, in the flowing of rivers. And the stars themselves remind us of time's vastness. Light travels across unimaginable distances to reach us. Some of the starlight we see tonight began its journey before humans existed, perhaps before mammals themselves walked the earth. If civilizations once looked up at these same stars, their wonder still lingers in that light. Though they are gone, the starlight remains, a bridge across time and memory. As you listen, allow your body to soften, your mind to quiet. The questions themselves are soothing. We do not need answers tonight. The mystery is enough. To wonder is to dream, and to dream is to touch the infinite. The earth is old, older than our imagination. Whether or not others came before us, the thought itself connects us to that deep time, that endless unfolding of life. Close your eyes to the present and let your spirit drift through time. Picture the earth as it was millions of years ago, and millions of years before that. Continents shifting, seas rising and falling, forests growing and fading. In each age, life adapts, evolves, transforms. In some ages, intelligence may have risen, wondered, dreamed, and then disappeared. In this vast cycle, we are a brief note in a long and gentle song. The song continues, slow and unbroken, like a lullaby sung by the earth itself. Its melody is in the rivers, in the winds, in the heartbeat of the planet. And as you rest now, you are part of that song. You belong to the earth, to its mystery, to its timeless story. Sleep carries you deeper, as the earth carries the memory of civilizations, lost in civilizations yet to come. Time is a river, always moving, always reshaping the land it touches. Civilizations, like stones cast into that river, create ripples that spread and fade. Some ripples leave patterns we can still see, ruins, texts, artifacts, while others vanish into silence. The thought that we may not be the first is not a frightening one, but a humbling reminder of how brief and delicate each era truly is. Breathe slowly now, and imagine standing on the edge of a forest that existed tens of millions of years ago. The air is thick with warmth, and strange birds cry out in the canopy above. Giant trees rise like pillars, their roots gripping the soil of a world long gone. Somewhere in that forest, perhaps, intelligent beings walked, Perhaps they crafted tools from what they found, shaped symbols, or sang songs that drifted through the humid air. Their voices are gone, yet the trees still whisper, carrying echoes of lives we will never know. In the rock beneath your feet, countless stories are sealed away. Fossils remind us of creatures that once ruled the earth, giants with scales, fangs, and wings. If such forms of life could evolve and disappear, why not civilizations? Perhaps some left no trace visible to us. Perhaps their world was swept away by a catastrophe, or dissolved gradually into the flow of time. The earth is vast and patient. It takes and it gives, and it remembers in ways we are only beginning to understand. Think now of the great ice ages. Enormous glaciers spread across continents, carving valleys and shaping mountains. Imagine the weight of all that ice pressing down, grinding stone to dust. If cities had once stood there, they would have been ground away, erased as though they had never been. The ice would retreat, leaving behind only lakes and plains, and the memory of what was would vanish into silence. It is in that silence that imagination stirs, gently and endlessly. Now let your thoughts drift to the sea again, where life first began. Beneath the waves, ecosystems flourish in the deep, dark places we cannot see. Hydrothermal vents spew minerals and warmth, nurturing strange and luminous creatures. If civilizations had ever emerged in those oceans, they may have known a world utterly unlike our own cities of coral, technologies shaped from living light. Over millions of years, their existence could dissolve into the shifting sands of the seafloor. All that remains is the rhythm of the tide, moving in and out, like the rhythm of your breath. Each breath is a reminder that you, too, are part of this ancient cycle. Inhale, and you draw in the memory of forests that once covered the earth. Exhale, and you give yourself back to the air, to the elements that shaped countless generations before you. In this way, you are connected not just to humanity, but to all that has ever lived. Some philosophers suggest that civilizations may rise like waves upon an ocean. The ocean is eternal, but each wave rises, peaks, and falls, only to be followed by another. Our own civilization is but one wave. Before us, there may have been others, rising in their own time, falling before the next could rise. After us, there may be more. The ocean does not end. It continues, vast and unbroken, its waves uncountable. This idea is not meant to unsettle you, but to comfort you. If others have lived, loved, dreamed, and passed away, then we are not alone in the story of Earth. We are part of a continuum, a timeless pattern, an unending melody. Each civilization adds its note, its harmony, before fading gently back into silence. Now picture the desert once more. A night sky stretches above it, filled with stars. The sand is cool, and the air is still. Beneath the sand lie layers upon layers of forgotten worlds. Some hold the remains of seashells from ancient oceans. Others contain the tracks of animals, long extinct. Perhaps deeper still, beyond what we have yet uncovered, there rest the traces of civilizations no one remembers. Their time has passed, but the stars they gazed upon still shine. Tonight, you gaze upon those same stars, and in that shared light, you are connected to them. Sleep itself is a kind of time travel. As you drift into dreams, the present fades away, and you enter realms of memory and imagination. The question of forgotten civilizations is like a dream of the earth itself. It may not be proven, but it allows us to wonder, to imagine lives and stories that stretch far beyond our own. This wonder is gentle, soft, like a lullaby sung across ages. Let your mind now float among the mountains. Snow lies upon their peaks, while rivers cut valleys far below. Mountains rise slowly, lifted by the movements of the earth's crust, only to be worn down again by wind and rain. If civilizations once dwelt here, their temples and towers would eventually crumble, their traces scattered by avalanches and storms, yet the spirit of their presence may linger, like a faint warmth in the stone, like a whisper carried by the wind. As you breathe, allow yourself to sink deeper into calm. Each breath carries you further along this river of time, into the vastness of history, into the softness of dreams. You are not rushing, for there is no need. Time is infinite. The earth is infinite. In this infinity, you are safe, you are held. You are part of something greater than yourself. The thought that we may not be the first civilization is not a threat. It is a comfort, a reminder that we are not alone. Others may have come before, and others may come after. All are part of the Earth story. and the earth itself is part of a story even greater, written in the language of stars and galaxies. And as you rest, as you drift, you too are part of that story. Your dreams are connected to the dreams of those who lived long ago, and to the dreams of those who will come after. The river of time flows gently, carrying you along, and you need not do anything but float upon its current. Sleep, like history, is a gentle forgetting. In sleep, we release the present and open ourselves to timelessness. Tonight, as you listen, as you drift, imagine that you are resting in the arms of the earth itself. You are surrounded by mystery, by wonder, by the quiet beauty of the unknown. The earth sings to you through its silence, and in that silence, you find peace. Close your eyes and drift deeper into the thought of forgotten ages. Imagine the earth as a vast library, with each layer of rock and soil a page in its endless book. Some pages we have read, others remain sealed. Perhaps within those unopened pages lie entire chapters about civilizations that bloomed and faded before our own. The wind turns these pages slowly, one grain of sand, one drop of rain at a time. In this vast library, silence is the keeper. Silence preserves the secrets of what came before, whispering them only to those who listen carefully. Archaeologists, geologists, and dreamers alike lean close, tracing the faint marks left behind. Yet so much remains unread, waiting in stillness. You too are now a reader of this book, guided not by noise or haste, but by calm curiosity, turning each invisible page as gently as a breath. Picture a wide plain, covered now in grass, stretching to the horizon. Once, it may have been an ocean floor. Before that, perhaps a desert. Before that, maybe even a place of life and creation beyond anything we recognize. Every inch of the earth is layered in transformation, forever becoming something new. If there were civilizations before us, their ruins might be pressed deep beneath our feet, folded into the stone, part of the plain itself. They may not be gone, but changed, woven into the tapestry of the planet. Now let yourself wander into the jungle. Hear the call of unseen birds, the drip of water from tall leaves, the hum of insects in the thick air. Jungles are both creators and erasers of history. Structures left untended are swallowed by vines. Temples vanish beneath green canopies. What once was proud and tall becomes hidden and silent. The jungle teaches us that time covers all things, but it also shows us that covering is not destruction, it is transformation. The jungle holds memory in its roots and branches, and in dreams we may listen to it. Think of rivers flowing endlessly to the sea. Rivers carry soil and stone, carving canyons and shaping lands. If there were once people who lived beside rivers, millions of years ago, their traces may have been washed away, carried grain by grain into the ocean. Yet in a sense, they still remain, becoming part of the river itself, carried into every drop that flows onward. To drink from a river, to hear its song, is to share in that memory. Now, breathe gently, and picture the stars above. They burn steadily, distant yet present. When we gaze at them, we often wonder about civilizations far beyond Earth, scattered across the cosmos. Yet perhaps the greater wonder is not only outward, but inward within our own world. If intelligent life has risen and fallen here before, then we ourselves are the continuation of something vast and ancient. Perhaps civilizations rise like constellations, patterns that shift and change, yet always remain part of the same endless sky. Imagine now the slow turning of the earth. Night becomes day, day becomes night, an unbroken cycle that has continued for billions of years. Civilizations may have risen in one dawn, lived through many sunsets, and disappeared before another dawn began. The cycle continues, gentle and inevitable. As you listen, as you rest, you are part of this turning, part of the same quiet rhythm that has always been and always will be. The oceans, the forests, the deserts, and the mountains are not just landscapes, they are storytellers. Their language is subtle, the curve of a dune, the shape of a valley, the whisper of leaves. Each carries messages from the past, fragments of tales older than we can imagine. Perhaps, if you listen closely enough, in this calm and quiet state, you can almost hear them. A soft reminder that we are not the first, nor will we be the last. We are part of something timeless. Allow your mind now to picture a cavern deep beneath the earth. The air is cool, still, and silent. Stalactites hang from the ceiling. Stalagmites rise from the ground. Drop by drop, Water has shaped this space over millennia. In this darkness, civilizations might have sheltered, might have carved their stories upon the walls. Over time, those carvings could vanish, covered by new layers of stone. What was once a message becomes a mystery, and the cavern keeps its secret, breathing slowly. Feel how vast time is. A single lifetime is a brief spark, but the earth measures its days in eons. Civilizations may be sparks as well, bright, meaningful, then fading into the darkness, their glow becoming part of the whole. Yet the darkness is not frightening. It is soft, like a night sky filled with stars, a place where all sparks rest, together, shining quietly. Think again of the possibility that others walked here before us. If they did, they too must have watched the sunrise, must have listened to the rain, must have looked upon the stars and wondered. Their questions may not be so different from ours. Their dreams, their fears, their hopes may echo faintly within us even now. For in the great unfolding of time, the threads of existence weave together, connecting all who have ever lived. And as you listen, as you drift deeper into rest, imagine yourself as part of that thread. You are a continuation of what came before, and a seed of what will come after. You belong to the earth's endless cycle of renewal, to the stars' endless rhythm of light. You are safe within it, held gently, carried along without effort. The story continues, and you are part of it. Let your thoughts drift now to the quiet coastlines of the world. Picture the ocean stretching endlessly, waves rolling in and out with a rhythm as steady as your breath. The tide comes forward, the tide recedes, just as it has for millions of years. Perhaps long ago, on this very same shore, others stood watching the horizon. Their footprints may have pressed into the sand, only to be erased by the water, as if the sea itself was tucking their memory into its depths. The ocean does not forget. It carries every drop, every trace, into its vast and gentle embrace. As you listen, feel how small yet connected we are. The ocean links every coastline, every land, every person. If civilizations once rose and fell before us, their stories may still echo in the rhythm of the waves. Each wave could be a whisper from ages past, telling us softly that we are never alone in time. The ocean holds all who have come before, and all who will come after. Now picture yourself walking slowly into a desert at twilight. The air is cool, the sand soft beneath your feet. Deserts are places of silence and vastness, where the horizon stretches beyond sight. To some, they may appear empty, but they are full of memory. Buried beneath the shifting dunes may lie fragments of forgotten cities, covered gently by the wind. The desert hides but does not destroy. It protects, wrapping its secrets in endless sand. Imagine lying down on that sand beneath the stars. Above you stretches the Milky Way, a river of light in the night sky. Those same stars have shone upon every being who has ever lived on this earth. They shone on ancient forests, on mighty oceans, and on civilizations we may never know. The stars are the constant witnesses, holding within their glow the quiet truth that time is vast, and we are but visitors passing gently through. Take another slow breath. With each inhale, imagine drawing in the calm of the universe. With each exhale, release the weight of time and thought. Allow yourself to simply be, here and now, as timeless as the stars, as steady as the tide. Now, walk in your imagination, through a great forest of towering trees. Their roots sink deep into the soil, their branches reach toward the sky. Some trees live for thousands of years, outlasting generations, outlasting civilizations. They are guardians of memory. Perhaps beneath their roots lie forgotten relics. Perhaps their growth has covered over the signs of those who once lived. The forest does not erase, it shelters, growing layer upon layer, until the past and the present become one dot in the stillness of the forest. Listen to the wind weaving through the leaves. It is like a voice, soft, eternal, reassuring. The forest reminds us that life continues, that endings are only transformations, and that all who came before are still part of the whole. If ancient civilizations once thrived in these places, their energy may remain here, resting gently within the trees, within the soil, within the very air you breathe. Imagine now traveling into the mountains. Peaks rise into the clouds, silent and majestic. Mountains are the keepers of deep time. They form slowly, lifted by forces within the earth, and they endure across ages. Civilizations may crumble, oceans may shift, but the mountains remain, holding their place as eternal watchers. If beings once carved their stories into stone long before us, those carvings may now be hidden under snow, beneath cliffs, folded into the rock itself. The mountains do not give up their secrets easily, but they hold them, steady and safe, within their vastness. As you picture these mountains, feel their stillness within yourself. Their calm becomes your calm. Their endurance becomes your comfort. Just as they remain unshaken across eons, you too can rest in their quiet strength. Now, let us drift downward, deeper into the earth itself. Imagine descending through layers of soil, through layers of stone. Each layer is a chapter, each fossil a word, each crystal a symbol of time's artistry. If there were civilizations before ours, their traces may lie here, hidden in these layers, waiting patiently to be discovered. The earth keeps its secrets well, but nothing is truly lost. All becomes part of the whole. Feel yourself cradled by this thought. Nothing vanishes completely. Everything is transformed, carried forward in some way. Civilizations may rise and fall, but their essence becomes part of the earth, part of the air, part of us. In this way, nothing is forgotten. It all rests within the great memory of the planet, a memory so vast that it flows even into your dreams. Now, imagine yourself by a quiet lake at dawn. The water is smooth, reflecting the first light of the day. Mist rises from the surface, drifting slowly upward. The lake is like a mirror of time, holding reflections of the sky, the trees, the mountains. If once people lived here, they may have seen the same reflection, watched the same dawn, felt the same stillness. Across eons, across civilizations, the sunrise remains the same. It greets all who awaken to it, without distinction, without end. Breathe with the lake. Inhale the calm surface, exhale into the gentle mist. With each breath, feel yourself becoming lighter, more at peace, more in tune with the steady rhythm of nature. And as you rest, remember, the mystery of whether we are the first civilization may never be fully answered, but perhaps the answer is not as important as the wonder that we are part of something vast, ancient, and beautiful. The wonder that time stretches both behind us and before us, endless and calm. The wonder that in this moment, you are safe, carried by the earth, held within its embrace, part of its never-ending story. Imagine now drifting into the deep ocean, far beneath the waves where sunlight does not reach. The water grows darker, cooler, more mysterious. Down here, time feels slower, almost suspended. Strange and gentle creatures move gracefully in the depths, their glowing bodies shimmering like stars in an underwater sky. The deep sea is like another world, untouched, hidden, ancient. If other civilizations ever existed, perhaps they too wondered about these waters. Perhaps they too dreamed of what lay beyond the reach of light. The ocean floor, stretching vast and silent, may hold secrets yet unseen. Resting quietly in its eternal night, as you float in this deep, calming space, feel the weight of the water surrounding you, not heavy but comforting, as though the earth itself is cradling you. Down here, in this hushed place, the noise of the world disappears. All that remains is peace, stillness, and the quiet rhythm of your own breath. From the depths of the sea, let your mind rise slowly toward the surface, like a bubble ascending effortlessly. The light returns gradually, soft and shimmering, until you break through into the calm openness of the sky. The sky itself is another ocean, an endless sea of air. Look upward and see the clouds drifting, shaped gently by the wind. They move with ease, unhurried, as though they have all the time in the world. Perhaps long ago, others looked at these same skies, watching the same drifting clouds, wondering the same timeless questions. Who are we, and have others walked this path before us? Now picture yourself lying in a meadow filled with wildflowers. The grass is soft, the colors gentle and alive. Bees move slowly from flower to flower, their steady hum a reminder of life's persistence. Meadows like this have bloomed and faded for countless seasons, watched by countless eyes, both human and perhaps by those before humans, if such beings ever were. Nature does not ask who we are or when we lived. It simply continues, cycle after cycle, in eternal renewal. As you rest in this meadow, notice the warmth of the sun on your skin, the soft caress of the breeze, the gentle scent of earth and flowers. All of it reminds you that life is not only about answers, but about presence, about being here, now. In harmony with the great unfolding of time, allow your thoughts to wander further. imagining the great ice sheets of the world. Vast glaciers stretch across the land, shining in the soft light, moving slowly over centuries. Ice holds memory. Within it are the frozen records of ancient air, ancient storms, ancient seasons. If others once lived long before us, perhaps their echoes are held within these frozen layers, waiting patiently to be found. Like whispers of time preserved in crystal form. Now, drift from the cold stillness of the ice into the warmth of a tropical rainforest. The air is alive with the sound of water and life. Birds call gently, streams flow, and the trees rise high, their leaves forming a living canopy above. This forest feels timeless, eternal. Beneath its roots may lie forgotten remnants of what once was. The rainforest hides secrets, but it also gives comfort. Its endless greenery wraps around you like a blanket, reminding you that life always renews, always begins again, no matter what came before. Take another deep, slow breath, in and out. With each breath, imagine yourself becoming lighter, calmer, more connected to the endless cycle of life. The thought of past civilizations becomes less a question and more a lullaby. Whether they were here or not, their presence is felt in the wonder of the earth, in the beauty of its landscapes, in the calm flow of time that carries us all. Now imagine yourself standing beneath a night sky once more. The stars spread endlessly across the heavens, each one a sun, each one a mystery. Perhaps ancient civilizations looked up at these same stars, feeling the same awe, the same quiet peace. The universe has no hurry, no urgency. It simply unfolds, gently, endlessly. And under this vast sky, you too can rest. The stars remind you that you are part of something vast, but also something gentle. Time is not a rushing river, but a calm ocean, carrying all that exists within it. Civilizations may rise and fall, but the universe holds them all, just as it holds you now. As you breathe slowly, allow yourself to feel that connection. You are part of Earth. You are part of the sky. You are part of the great mystery of existence, timeless and infinite. And in this realization, there is peace. Let us now drift into the desert, where silence stretches farther than the eye can see. The sand lies like a golden ocean, each grain a fragment of time. The dunes rise and fall like gentle waves, shaped by the slow breath of the wind. As you walk here, in your imagination, each step is soft, sinking slightly, and the sound is hushed, almost non-existent. The desert has always been a place of mystery. It has seen countless days, countless nights, and perhaps countless lives. If civilizations existed long before us, their traces might rest beneath this very sand, preserved in silence, hidden by time. The stars above a desert are unlike anywhere else. They shine bright and unbroken, filling the sky with clarity and depth. Imagine lying upon the warm sand at night, looking up at those stars. The thought that you are connected to something eternal, something vast, brings a calming sense of wonder. Perhaps others, thousands or millions of years ago, lay upon the sand as you do in your imagination now, looking at the same constellations, dreaming the same dreams. Now, drift from the desert into the mountains. High peaks rise into the sky, their slopes covered with forests, their tops crowned with snow. The air is crisp, the sky thin and pure. Mountains are ancient guardians of the earth, standing through all ages, watching silently as time passes. If others lived before us, the mountains bore witness to them, and they will bear witness long after us, for they are patient, eternal, and still. Picture yourself sitting upon a mountainside, looking out across a valley below. Rivers glisten like silver threads. Clouds drift slowly, wrapping around the peaks. All is calm, steady, enduring. The mountains remind you that change is natural, yet permanence exists within the great body of the earth. Civilizations may rise, fall, and vanish, but the mountains remain, timeless and unshaken. Take a slow breath as you imagine walking through a hidden cave within these mountains. The walls shine faintly with minerals, carved not by hands but by the flow of water over eons. Stalactites hang like frozen icicles of stone. Stalagmites rise like ancient pillars. The cave is cool, hushed, and safe. Here, time feels suspended, as though you have stepped outside of it. Perhaps within such caves, ancient beings once sought shelter, their fires flickering, their voices echoing. The caves remember, though they do not speak. Now step back out into the open world, and let your mind wander across the earth itself. Imagine the continents drifting slowly over millions of years, carried upon the mantle of the planet. Lands connect, then separate, seas open, then close. The earth is always moving, always changing. In this great motion, entire histories are written and erased. If there were civilizations before us, perhaps their lands now rest beneath oceans, or have been lifted into mountains, or buried under endless layers of stone. And yet, the earth holds no urgency. It moves at its own pace, carrying all within its embrace. This thought brings a deep calm, as though the planet itself is whispering a lullaby, steady and sure. You are safe upon this earth, just as countless beings before you were safe, nurtured, and carried. Now imagine yourself floating gently above the earth, looking down upon its beauty. The oceans glimmer like sapphire, the forests spread like a green quilt, the deserts glow golden, and the mountains rise in silent dignity. From this view, the earth looks whole, serene, alive. All civilizations that ever were, all stories that ever unfolded, rest upon this sphere, carried gently through the cosmos. Drifting further, imagine yourself gliding slowly through space. The stars surround you, infinite and still. Galaxies swirl like cosmic blossoms, their arms stretching gracefully into the darkness. Each star holds its own history, its own worlds, its own possibilities. Perhaps civilizations beyond our own have flourished among them, rising and fading, leaving only quiet echoes. The universe is vast, timeless, and calm. As you float among the stars, feel yourself becoming lighter, freer, more at ease. The mysteries of existence are not heavy burdens, but gentle wonders. The question of whether we are the first or not does not disturb the heart, it soothes it. For no matter how many came before, or how many will come after, the universe holds all with the same quiet care. Now let your mind drift back to earth once more. Imagine sitting beside a quiet river, its surface reflecting the glow of the moon. The water flows gently, carrying leaves, carrying light, carrying time itself. Rivers are storytellers, moving endlessly, touching countless lives, shaping the land. If civilizations once thrived along its banks long before us, the river remembers, carrying fragments of their world into the sea. And now, it carries only calm, soft whispers of water, soothing and eternal. As you listen to the gentle current in your imagination, let your breath match its pace. Slow, steady, unhurried. Each breath is a ripple, each exhale a release. With every moment you sink deeper into calm, deeper into rest. The earth is ancient, and its mysteries are deep. Whether or not others came before us, we are part of this ongoing story. Like the rivers, like the stars, like the forests and the mountains, we belong to the great unfolding of time. And in this belonging, there is no worry, no rush, no fear. There is only peace. Imagine now the deep ocean, darker and more mysterious than any cave or desert. As you sink slowly into its depths in your imagination, light fades gently, replaced by a tranquil twilight. The surface becomes distant, a soft shimmer above. Around you, the water is cool, embracing, and still. The ocean is vast beyond comprehension. It covers most of the earth, hiding landscapes we rarely see. Beneath its waves lie mountains taller than any on land, valleys deeper than the Grand Canyon, plains stretching endlessly. If an ancient civilization once lived here, perhaps their cities now rest upon the ocean floor, shrouded by silence, cloaked by time. Picture yourself drifting past coral reefs, glowing softly in shades of pink, orange, and blue. Tiny fish move gracefully among the corals, their scales flashing in the dim light. The reef hums with quiet life, each creature following a rhythm older than history. The thought arises gently: how many rhythms, how many lives, how many forgotten civilizations have pulsed upon this planet before us? The ocean might know, though it does not speak. Deeper still, where sunlight cannot reach, strange creatures drift. They glow with their own light, small lanterns in the darkness. Some pulse slowly like stars, some drift with delicate fins like veils of silk. In this world of shadows and quiet, time feels endless. It is easy to imagine that long ago, beneath the seas, entire cultures may have risen and vanished, their traces now swallowed by the deep. The ocean reminds you of the gentle truth: even if stories are lost, their essence remains. The waters carry memory in silence, holding it with care. As you breathe slowly, matching the rhythm of the waves, you too hold memory, not as weight, but as peace. Now, let your mind drift from the ocean to the forest. Imagine walking beneath tall trees, their trunks wide and strong, their leaves whispering softly in the breeze. The air is rich, filled with the scent of earth and moss, the sound of birds, and the rustle of branches. Sunlight filters through the canopy, painting shifting patterns of gold upon the ground. Forests are keepers of time. Some trees live for thousands of years, their rings marking each passing season. They stood before you were born, and they will stand long after you are gone. If civilizations flourished before ours, the forests might have grown over their temples, their roads, their homes, weaving life through stone and memory. You continue your walk, each step soft upon the moss. A stream flows nearby, its voice gentle and soothing. The forest is alive with countless creatures, each part of a greater whole. The idea that we are part of this same whole is comforting. We too are threads in the great tapestry of life, woven into the earth's story, just as others before us were. As night falls in the forest, fireflies begin to glow. Tiny sparks drift through the air, rising and falling like stars come down to dance among the trees. The scene is dreamlike, hushed, and serene. It whispers that mystery is not something to be solved, but something to be embraced, something to rest within. Now let your mind expand again to the wide span of time. Imagine the earth, not as it is now, but as it was millions of years ago. Continents shifting, seas changing, mountains rising and falling. Imagine forests of giant ferns, skies filled with strange birds, lands roamed by creatures unlike any we know today. Civilizations may have existed then, hidden in forms we cannot yet imagine, their traces erased by the earth's steady hand. Yet as you picture this, there is no need to hurry toward answers. The mystery itself is enough. The thought that we may not be the first brings not fear, but wonder. It connects us to something greater, something eternal, something calm. Now return once more to the quiet sky above. The stars are countless, each a world of possibility. Imagine drifting among them, moving slowly, weightlessly, as galaxies turn like soft spirals of light. Perhaps in one of those distant lights, another world holds its own civilizations, its own histories, its own dreams. Some may have risen and fallen long ago, leaving only faint echoes in the fabric of space. As you drift, you realize that life is never truly lost. It transforms, it continues, it flows like water, like wind, like light. Even if we are not the first, even if others have come before, we are part of the same gentle current, part of the same eternal story. Breathe slowly, deeply, as this thought settles in. The universe is wide, the earth is old, and yet you are here, safe, resting within it. The mysteries do not demand answers. They only invite you to rest in their presence, to find peace in their silence. Now picture yourself standing at the edge of a calm lake, the water smooth as glass, reflecting the stars above. The air is still, cool, and quiet. The reflection shimmers as you breathe, as though the stars themselves are breathing with you. Time feels suspended, eternal, infinite. Perhaps civilizations once stood here too, looking at these same stars, listening to the same silence. And now you join them, not in fear, but in calm, in wonder, in peace. The night grows deeper, and you are still by the lake. The stars above glimmer, steady and calm, mirrored upon the still waters. Their light is ancient, traveling across countless years to reach your eyes tonight. Each star tells a quiet story, and together they weave a tapestry of eternity. You sit in silence, knowing that perhaps countless beings, in ages past, gazed upon these same stars with the same quiet wonder. The thought brings comfort, not distance. For even if we are not the first to wonder, even if others walk this earth before us, their wonder and ours are joined. Wonder is timeless. It does not belong to one civilization, nor to one age. It belongs to life itself. The lake breathes with you, each ripple moving slowly, gently, outward. As you rest upon its shore, the earth itself feels alive, ancient, and deeply aware. It is a reminder that you are part of a long, endless story, one without beginning or end. Now, picture drifting from the lake into a wide desert beneath the moon. The sand is cool, The dunes rise and fall like waves frozen in time. The wind moves softly, brushing over the sand, shaping it slowly, endlessly. In deserts across the world, beneath dunes and stone, lie remnants of stories once lived. Some are known temples, tombs, ancient carvings. Others may still be buried, waiting for thousands of years, their presence hidden, their voices silent. You walk across the desert gently, each step sinking softly into the sand. Above, the stars are brilliant against the dark sky, more vivid than anywhere else. The desert holds silence as its companion, a silence so vast it seems to stretch forever. It is in this silence that you can imagine civilizations rising and fading like the dunes themselves, reshaped by time, remembered only as whispers in the wind. Yet this thought does not bring sadness. The desert shows you that change is natural. Dunes shift, winds blow. What was once here becomes something new, and in that cycle there is beauty, a rhythm, a song of the earth that lulls the mind into rest. Let yourself now imagine the mountains, high peaks rising into the sky, their slopes quiet, their snow gleaming in the moonlight. The air is crisp, still, and pure. You climb gently in your imagination, each step steady, each breath deep and calming. From the mountaintop, the world below stretches far and wide. Valleys and rivers, forests and plains, deserts and seas, all of them weave together into one great whole. From here, you sense the enormity of time. Mountains themselves rise and fall. They are not eternal, but part of the earth's slow, steady rhythm. Civilizations, too, are like mountains. They rise, they stand strong, they shape the world, and then, in time, they return to the earth. None are lost completely, for all become part of the same whole. The thought is not heavy, but freeing. You are reminded that you, too, are part of this flow, a small but meaningful presence in the great rhythm of life. Now the wind at the mountain peak grows softer, carrying with it a hush that feels eternal. It whispers of civilizations perhaps older than we know, older than history remembers, older than stories can tell. Did they build, create, dream, love, just as we do? Perhaps, but whether their traces remain or not, the essence of their being flows on, through the earth itself, through the stars above, through the very breath you take now. As you rest upon this mountaintop in your mind, the stars seem closer. They shine with a calm, unwavering glow. It feels as though they are watching, not with judgment, not with expectation, but with quiet presence. You realize that time is vast. Civilizations may come and go, but wonder remains, and peace remains, and stillness remains. The mountain slowly fades into clouds, and you drift higher still. The earth below becomes round, glowing softly in the moonlight, its oceans and continents bathed in calm. From this perspective, all of history feels quiet, softened, like a dream. The rise and fall of civilizations are waves upon the surface of a greater sea. They come, they go, they shape, they fade, and yet the sea itself remains, endless, eternal, gentle. You float in the silence of space, held by the vastness around you. Stars shimmer, galaxies turn slowly, each light a reminder of mystery. Perhaps elsewhere, across the stars, other beings rest now, thinking similar thoughts, feeling the same calm, drifting toward sleep under the same eternal night. You are not alone. You are part of a story larger than time, larger than civilization, larger than memory, a story written in starlight, in oceans, in forests, in mountains, in deserts, in dreams. The story does not end, it only flows, and now you are floating within it, safe, calm, resting, as the universe holds you gently in its arms. The stars above stretch endlessly, their soft light washing gently over you as you drift deeper into the silence of space. The earth glows faintly behind you, a jewel suspended in the vast night, its oceans shimmering like liquid silver, its forests and mountains cloaked in gentle shadow. From this distance, the noise of human history is quiet. Wars, triumphs, discoveries, and questions are all softened, blurred into a single harmonious rhythm. Floating here, you feel weightless, free of the boundaries of time. Civilizations are but whispers, faint echoes on the breeze of eternity. Some may have risen long before our own, others may yet emerge far in the future. But from here, in this stillness, all of them seem to belong together, like different notes in the same endless song. You drift slowly, peacefully, through the vast ocean of stars. each one a sun, each one perhaps with worlds of its own, perhaps with stories and beings and civilizations unknown. If Earth has hosted life before us, who is to say that countless other worlds have not done the same? Some may still be awake, thriving in the light of their stars. Others may already be gone, their traces carried only in starlight, crossing the void to reach you now. The thought is vast, but not heavy. It soothes the mind to know that the universe is wide, that it holds countless mysteries, and that within its infinite expanse, you are safe. The stars cradle you, like lanterns glowing softly in the night, guiding you towards stillness. As you drift onward, your mind wanders to the oceans of Earth. Beneath their calm surfaces lies a world deeper than mountains are tall. In the silence of the deep sea, strange forms drift, glow, and move slowly, timelessly. The ocean floor, dark and hidden, holds secrets yet unknown. There may be ruins resting beneath those waters, remnants of lives long past, now cloaked in coral and silence. Or perhaps there are only the shapes of stone, carved not by hands, but by the slow rhythm of tides. You picture yourself sinking gently into the ocean's embrace, drifting past shoals of shimmering fish, past the kelp swaying in slow motion, down into the twilight where sunlight fades. The water is cool, calm, pressing gently all around you. In the deep, everything slows. Time itself feels different, stretched and softened. Civilizations could rise and vanish here without a sound, their memory held only by the currents. As you drift lower, glowing creatures light your way, soft blues, gentle greens, warm purples. Their light flickers like lanterns in the dark, leading you deeper, gently, never hurried. The ocean floor emerges at last, vast plains of sand, ridges, and mountains. Somewhere in the distance, vents release streams of heat, and life gathers. Around them, in forms strange and beautiful, the ocean floor whispers a story, one that is older than humanity, older than cities, older than memory itself. Perhaps it has seen civilizations before us, perhaps not. But whether the answer is yes or no, does not matter now. What matters is the rhythm, the eternal cycle, the endless flow of life and time. You feel yourself resting within it, calm and at peace, as though the ocean itself is carrying you into sleep. Slowly, the ocean fades into a forest at dusk. The trees rise tall, their leaves whispering in the soft wind. The air is cool, fragrant with earth and moss. The forest is alive with gentle sounds, a stream trickling nearby, the call of distant birds, the rustle of branches. Yet as night deepens, even these sounds grow quiet. Walking slowly through the forest, you feel the ground soft beneath your feet. The trees seem ancient, older than memory, their roots stretching deep into the earth. Some trees live for thousands of years, their lifespans longer than entire civilizations. They stand as witnesses, watching the rise and fall of countless lives. Perhaps they hold within them memories of ages long past, when the world looked different, when the voices of other peoples echoed beneath their branches. You rest against one such tree, its bark rough, its presence strong and steady. Leaning into it, you feel supported, grounded, calm. The forest hums with life all around, but slowly, the hum fades into silence, into stillness. Time becomes soft again, and you close your eyes, knowing that civilizations, like forests, come and go, but life itself endures. The night above the forest is clear. Through the branches, you see stars peeking gently, steady and calm. Their light has traveled across endless years to reach you here. Now, in this moment of stillness, they do not rush, they do not fade, they shine with patience, reminding you that, in the endless flow of time, you are safe to rest. You let the forest fade, the stars expand, and the universe once again surrounds you, infinite and quiet. Here, in this vastness, the question of whether we are the first civilization or not feels soft, almost unimportant. The universe holds many mysteries, and the answer is part of a greater whole. What matters is the stillness, the wonder, the peace of knowing that you are part of something timeless. You drift deeper now, carried by the stars, wrapped in their calm glow. Each breath is slow, steady, gentle. Each thought becomes lighter, softer. You are floating through eternity, safe, calm, and deeply at peace. The stars seem to breathe with you, expanding and contracting in rhythm with your slow, steady breaths. Their quiet glow settles over you like a soft blanket, comforting and timeless. In this gentle light, the universe itself feels alive, but in a way that is calm, patient, and everlasting. Civilizations may come and go, questions may rise and fade, yet the stars remain, their presence constant, their light steady. Your mind drifts now toward the deserts of Earth, vast and endless stretches of sand and stone. The dunes roll softly like waves frozen in time, their shapes shifting slowly under the quiet touch of the wind. Walking across this desert in your imagination, you hear only the hush of sand sliding, a rhythm as old as the earth itself. The desert is ancient. It remembers ages before human footsteps, before roads, before cities. Sometimes, buried beneath its sands, fragments of other times are revealed, stones shaped by hands long forgotten, fragments of pottery, carvings that speak in silent voices. Perhaps these are memories of civilizations known to us. Perhaps some belong to ages still unrecognized, eras before our recorded time. The desert does not reveal all its secrets at once. It holds them close, waiting patiently, knowing that time is endless. You feel this patience as you walk, the steady rhythm of wind and sand. It reminds you that questions need not always be answered right away. Some mysteries are meant to be carried gently, like a lullaby that soothes more by its melody than by its conclusion. You rest for a moment on a dune, feeling the sand soft and cool beneath you as the night sky stretches wide. Above, the stars shine brighter here, free from any distractions. The horizon glows faintly with moonlight, silver across the sands. The air is still, the world vast, and you feel yourself becoming lighter, drifting deeper into calmness. The desert, in its quiet vastness, becomes a place of rest, a reminder that silence itself can hold meaning. From the desert, your thoughts drift gently toward the mountains. Rising high into the sky, they stand like guardians of the earth, timeless and enduring. Their peaks are dusted with snow, gleaming softly under the moonlight. You walk slowly up a winding path, each step steady, calm, unhurried. The air is cool, clean, carrying the scent of stone and ice. Mountains have watched over the earth for millions of years. They have seen forests come and go, seas rise and fall, civilizations emerge and vanish. Yet they remain, their presence steady and strong. In their quiet heights, you feel both small and infinite at once. Their silence is profound, yet comforting. Resting here, you feel the calm weight of time, stretched far beyond human memory. Sitting upon a ledge, you gaze outward. Below, valleys rest in shadow. Above, stars crown the sky. The world is vast, the universe endless, and you are here in stillness, carried gently by the thought that you are part of this great, timeless rhythm. Slowly, the mountains fade, and you find yourself drifting again among the stars. Here you feel suspended between past and future, floating softly in the present. You imagine other civilizations that might have once looked at the same stars. Perhaps they too wondered if they were alone. Perhaps they too felt the same peace, the same awe, the same quiet connection to the cosmos. The idea brings comfort, not fear, whether we are the first, or one among many, or just a moment in an endless flow. It feels gentle to know we are part of something larger. The stars have always shone, and they will continue to shine. Civilizations may pass, but light endures. The space around you becomes softer now, quieter still. Thoughts drift away, carried on invisible currents. Time stretches, each moment blending into the next, smooth and calm. You feel as though you are dissolving into the universe itself, becoming part of the stars, part of the silence, part of the endless peace. And so, you rest. Each breath is easy, flowing gently in and out. Each thought is lighter, fading into quiet. The mysteries of Earth, the secrets of the past, the questions of civilizations, they all become soft, distant, like gentle clouds drifting across the sky. What remains is the calm, the wonder, and the endless rhythm of existence. You are safe, you are calm, you are at peace. Imagine now the deep forests of Earth. Trees rise tall and ancient, their branches weaving together into a canopy that filters the moonlight into silver beams. The air is rich with the scent of moss and leaves, damp earth and quiet growth. You walk slowly along a narrow path, each step cushioned by soft soil. The hush of leaves whispering above. Forests have always been places of mystery. In their depths, light and shadow dance endlessly, and the silence feels alive. Many of the world's great civilizations grew alongside forests, They provided wood for shelter, food for nourishment, and medicines hidden in their roots and leaves. Yet forests also hold secrets, waiting quietly in the undergrowth. As you walk, you notice the roots beneath your feet. They twist and coil, linking trees together like threads in an unseen web. This vast network of life is older than cities, older than many civilizations. It whispers a story of connection, of resilience, of cycles that outlast empires. Perhaps civilizations before us knew this language better. Walking among the trees with reverence and calm, the forest glows faintly in your mind, as if illuminated not by light, but by memory itself. You imagine other beings, long ago, moving softly through these woods, pausing to listen to the rustle of leaves, the call of an owl, the flow of water in a distant stream. Perhaps they, too, found comfort here. Perhaps they, too, paused to rest. Much as you are resting now, you stop by a clearing where moonlight falls gently onto the grass. Fireflies drift through the air, glowing softly, their rhythm unhurried. You sit upon the earth, feeling its quiet strength beneath you. The world breathes here, slow and steady, in harmony with your own breath. In the silence of the forest, you sense how life continues, always and without end. Civilizations may rise, but forests endure. Even when they vanish, they return, sprouting anew, reaching skyward once more. The forest is patient, timeless, and endlessly forgiving. Your thoughts wander now to the oceans, vast and deep, covering most of our planet. Imagine standing upon a quiet shore. Waves roll gently, their rhythm soothing, a soft lullaby of water meeting sand. The horizon stretches endlessly, blending sea and sky. You walk slowly along the beach, the sand cool and smooth beneath your feet. Each wave washes in with a gentle hush, then retreats with a sigh, as though the earth itself is breathing with you. The ocean has always been a place of mystery. Beneath its surface lie worlds unseen, mountains taller than those on land, valleys deeper than we can imagine, and creatures both strange and beautiful. Civilizations have long looked to the ocean with wonder. It offers food, travel, and connection, but it also holds secrets. Sometimes, the ocean reveals fragments of the past, a shard of pottery, a piece of stone, a whisper of something long lost. Perhaps there are entire chapters of Earth's story, resting quietly on the seabed, civilizations erased by waves and time, waiting to be discovered, or perhaps to remain hidden forever. As you listen to the waves, you realize how steady they are, how eternal. Long before humans walked upon the land, the ocean sang this same song. Long after, it will continue. It is constant, soothing, timeless. The ocean asks nothing, expects nothing. It simply exists, flowing endlessly. A rhythm of peace. The waves grow softer in your mind. Their hush becomes like the beating of a heart, steady and calm. Each wave carries you deeper into relaxation, each sigh of water pulling you gently toward rest. The ocean's embrace is wide, infinite, and kind. From the shore, your thoughts rise once more into the sky. You imagine floating above the earth, looking down at its blue oceans, green forests, golden deserts, and white-capped mountains. The planet turns slowly beneath you, a sphere of beauty and wonder, suspended in the vast darkness of space. Here, in this quiet view, you see Earth not just as a home, but as a story written in stone and water, in life and time, in civilizations known and unknown. Whether we are the first, or one among many, does not matter now. What matters is the peace of being part of this great, gentle rhythm. You drift, lighter and lighter, your breath soft, your body calm. The mysteries remain, but they do not trouble you. They comfort you, reminding you that existence is wide, and time is endless, and rest is always possible. You are safe, you are calm, you are at peace. Now imagine drifting further into the silence of deep time. The earth itself becomes a cradle, holding countless generations, countless possibilities. You are no longer bound to the present moment, but moving gently through the ages, as if carried by a current that flows endlessly. In your mind's eye, you see rivers that have been flowing for millions of years. Some are older than mountains, older than valleys, older than entire civilizations. The Nile, for example, has carried its waters across desert sands for longer than human memory can reach. Along its shores, people once gathered, building temples and homes, whispering prayers to unseen gods. But the river itself is far older than any of their words. It has witnessed ages before, and it will continue long after. You imagine now walking along a riverbank in another time, long before our own. The waters move lazily, reflecting the golden glow of the setting sun. Birds call gently overhead, their wings slicing the still air. You pause by the edge of the water, looking down into its depths. Perhaps civilizations of the distant past stood here as well. Their reflections once caught upon the surface, now gone like ripples fading into stillness. The thought soothes you, because it reminds you that everything, even civilizations, are part of a cycle. They rise like waves and fall like tides, yet the river continues to flow. And in that flowing, there is peace, continuity, and quiet reassurance. Now your mind drifts to the mountains, standing tall, their peaks covered in snow, their roots buried deep within the earth. Mountains are the keepers of time, older than cities, older than nations. Some have stood unchanged while entire species came and went. Imagine resting at the base of such a mountain, its vast presence rising above you like a guardian. The air is cool here, thin and clear. You breathe it in slowly, deeply, and feel its freshness spread through your body. Somewhere far above, the wind whistles softly across the jagged peaks, a lullaby sung by stone and sky. Perhaps once, in forgotten ages, beings looked upon these same mountains, their voices echoing in valleys now silent. Yet the mountain remains, patient, unmoved, eternal. As you sit quietly, you realize the comfort of these ancient presences. Mountains, rivers, forests, oceans, they endure, no matter what civilizations rise or fall. They remind you that existence is broader than memory, broader than history. We are part of something vast, something steady, something endlessly unfolding. Your thoughts grow lighter still, floating upward like mist at dawn. You find yourself gazing once more at the stars. They shine calmly, unblinking, in the infinite. Dark stars have witnessed all of Earth's story, from its fiery birth to its present moment. Some of the light reaching your eyes tonight began its journey millions of years ago, long before humans, long before cities, perhaps even long before the first civilizations we will never know. You imagine drifting through space, weightless, serene. The stars surround you like quiet companions, each one steady, patient, constant. In their glow, time feels unimportant. Whether we are the first civilization or one of many does not matter, because the stars have always been, and they always will be. You close your eyes, and in the darkness behind them, you see only soft shapes, gentle colors, flowing slowly like clouds. Your breath is steady, your body relaxed. You are carried by the rhythm of the universe itself, slow, calm, eternal. The mysteries of earth and time drift around you like a lullaby. They do not ask for answers. They do not demand understanding. They only remind you that everything belongs. Everything is part of the same quiet flow. And in this flow, you are safe. You are calm. You are at rest. Time stretches like an endless horizon. You drift gently between the present and the ancient, carried by the rhythm of your own breath. Each inhale is like the rising tide, each exhale like the retreating wave. Steady, soothing, timeless. Now picture yourself walking slowly across an open plain. The grass is swaying in the breeze. The air is warm, scented faintly with earth and sun. The horizon rolls on forever, wide and gentle. Here, there are no walls, no cities, no traces of human hands. Only the land, stretching silently into the distance. Perhaps, long ago, others walked across plains like this, their voices soft, their footprints left in the soil, soon erased by wind and rain. You cannot see them now, and yet their presence feels faintly woven into the quiet of the place, as though the earth remembers, even when we do not. You pause, closing your eyes, feeling the breeze against your face. In this moment, time does not matter. Civilizations may come and go, but the wind has always blown across these grasses, and it always will. The land is eternal, carrying stories that cannot be spoken, only felt. Slowly, you lift your gaze to the sky once more. A great arc of stars stretches above you, shimmering faintly in the stillness. You imagine that, far in the past, other beings also looked upward, wondering at the same lights, perhaps asking the same questions you ask now. Were they the first, or had there been others before them, whose traces had already been carried away by time? And you realize that the question itself is soft, not urgent. It is not meant to be answered tonight. It is meant only to guide your thoughts into deeper calm, to let your mind drift gently, exploring without needing to arrive. Now you see an ocean again, vast and calm beneath the moonlight. The waves lap softly against the shore, a rhythm as steady as your breath. Perhaps beneath the water, hidden beneath layers of sand and stone, lie remnants of forgotten lives, forgotten dreams. The ocean keeps their secrets. It does not reveal them, but it holds them, patiently, in its deep embrace. The sound of the waves grows softer in your imagination, until it becomes almost indistinguishable from the rhythm of your own heartbeat. You are at one with the ocean, floating, weightless, serene. The water cradles you like a gentle hand, rocking you into stillness, and as you drift there, between wakefulness and rest, you realize that the mystery of civilizations, whether first or last, is part of a greater mystery, the mystery of existence itself. It is not a puzzle to solve, but a song to listen to, a story to rest within. The earth has always been telling this story, through the rustle of leaves, the whisper of rivers, the stillness of mountains, the glow of the stars. Civilizations may add their voices for a time, but the greater melody remains. You are part of that melody now. Your breath, your heartbeat, your stillness, all are woven into the gentle music of the universe. You need not do anything more. You need not seek or strive. You only need to rest, carried by the ancient lullaby of the world. Slowly, your thoughts soften further, becoming like clouds drifting across the night sky, light, fleeting, gentle. They pass and fade, leaving behind only calm, only quiet, and in that quiet, you are safe. You are whole. You are deeply at peace. Imagine standing at the edge of a quiet cliff where the land meets the sea. The stone beneath your feet is cool and steady, worn smooth by ages of wind and rain. Far below, waves fold and unfold upon the rocks, each one a gentle breath of the ocean. Above, a pale moon lingers, and the air holds a soft salt sweetness, like a whisper carried across centuries. You lean into the hush, and the hush holds you back, steadying you, as if the earth itself were a kind hand upon your shoulder. In this calm place, the mind loosens its grip on the day. Thoughts become like small shells, smoothed by time, simple and quiet. You follow a single shell back through memory, and beyond memory into imagination, where history softens and the great depths of time open like a tide pool to the sky. You peer in, and the reflections you see are not urgent, not demanding, but gentle. They are scenes and seasons, eras and echoes. They drift, they settle, they glow. Once, perhaps here, perhaps somewhere like here, others stood listening to the same ocean, feeling the same breeze, tasting the same salt upon the air. They may have spoken words we can no longer hear, shaped tools we no longer recognize, and told stories that now exist only as a feeling, a warmth, a drift of pattern in the mind of the world. Time would have carried their footprints away. The sea would have returned the shore to itself. And yet the shore remembers, just not in ways we can measure. It remembers in the shape of the cliff, in the worn steps of rock, in the quiet certainty of the tide's return. Walk back from the cliff and into a meadow at nightfall. The grasses bend as one to the light breeze, making a soft rippling sound that could be the memory of rain. A path threads through the meadow, pale and familiar, as if many feet human and other have walked it, not in haste, but in peace. Crickets begin their careful music, steady and patient. The world is settling, and you settle with it, like dust returning to the earth, like light dimming to a tender glow. If there were civilizations before ours, perhaps they learned the same lesson this meadow teaches, that life moves best at the pace of breath. Inhale and the senses open. Exhale and the body eases. Inhale and the mind receives. Exhale and the heart releases. These are the ancient measures. They do not pass away. They are not inventions of a single culture or time, but part of the grammar of being alive. Now let the meadow fade into a grove of old trees. Their trunks are wide and quietly luminous in the starlight, their canopies weaving a patient roof above you. The ground is soft with generations of leaves, each one a little boat that carried a season from branch to soil. Kneel, if you wish, and touch the dark loam. It is cool and slightly sweet, a fragrance that mingles endings and beginnings until they are one. If an earlier civilization had a word for this feeling, perhaps it would have sounded like the rustle overhead, or the murmur of a nearby spring. Perhaps it would have been no word at all, but a pause, a listening, a knowing without speech. Follow that spring now. It slips between stones, throws small silver ribbons over little ledges, threads itself into the roots of ferns. The sound is easy, a conversation in which nothing needs to be proven, only shared. Sit by the spring and place your hand near the water. Feel its cool nearness, the way it carries the memory of mountain snow and shaded ravines. Imagine the countless beings who have sipped here over ages, creatures of hoof and paw, feather and scale, wanderers with fires to tend and songs to hum. The spring is a meeting place across time, and you are welcome among them. When you stand, the forest opens to a valley, and in the valley, a river moves with gravitas and grace. Its surface reflects a star and then another, until the whole river becomes a path of light. Follow it in your mind, not with effort, but with the soft momentum of curiosity. The river passes through beds of stone patterned with ancient ripples, through banks where roots clasp the earth like gentle hands, past smooth bends where fog settles in the silver blue hour before dawn. If once there were villages or quiet cities here, their memory lives in the river's patience, in the way it never hurries, even as it always arrives. Let your thoughts rise with the morning mist that gathers over the water. It thickens and thins in slow tides of its own, drifting across fields, softening the edges of hills, turning the world to charcoal and pearl. Mist is a kind teacher. It shows how to blur what is too sharp, how to veil what is too bright, how to hush what has been too loud. If the past is mist to us, that is kindness, not loss. It allows the heart to rest on the shape of things rather than the details that would snag it. It allows the imagination to breathe. Climb now, a gentle climb onto a low ridge where the first light of day gathers. The sky before sunrise is a page not yet written on, and yet it holds the promise of every word. A faint lavender gives way to rose, and then to a slow gold that catches in the grasses and hangs on spider silk like 1,000 small windows. This is a ceremony the earth has kept for longer than memory reaches. Each day an unfurling, each dawn a soft bell rung across the plains of time. If ancient peoples raised stones to greet this light, if they set their lives to its rhythm, they were not first and will not be last. Dawn belongs to all who watch for it. With the sun warm on your face, follow an old footpath cut into the hillside. It curves and recedes and curves again, a script written in earth. Along its edge grow small shrubs with silver leaves, and now and then an outcropping of stone shows fossils the way a book shows letters, impressions left by baptism, loved by bodies long returned to their elements. You trace one with a fingertip. It is the curl of a shell, the geometry of growth inscribed in a language both intimate and cosmic. The fingertip knows the story without needing translation. Life spirals, life returns, life spirals again. Further, along the path leads to a quiet terrace where the view opens and you can see the plain, the river, the distant mouth of the sea. The scale of it slows you. Everything breathes together. Wind moves like a thought over the grasses. Water threads brightness through the green. The low hum of the world is steady, like a held note. In that steadiness, the speculation that others came before us becomes not a theory to defend, but a lullaby to hum. It says, everything you love has been loved before. It says, everything that ends returns as something tender. Descend now, step by gentle step, until the land levels out, and the air is filled with the soft salt scent again. Sea is near. You hear it before you see it. A slow, deliberate arrangement of sound, shush and hush. Hush and shush, always similar, always new. When it comes into view, it is wide, catching the light in a million small crescents and coins. You stand at the line where water and land exchange gifts, shell for sand, sand for shell, and the exchange is unhurried and fair. What the sea takes, it remakes. What it gives without ledger. Walk along the tide line and let foam lace around your ankles. Bright bits of kelp, driftwood worn to satin, stones with rings the color of smoke. All the small offerings of the deep are set out as if on a long, low altar. It is easy to imagine that rites were kept here. Rites of gratitude to wind and current. Rites for the safe return of boats. Rites welcoming the moon. The remnants of such rites would be simple, perhaps unmarked. They do not need to survive in objects. They survive in gestures repeated without end. A hand to the brow to shield the sun. Eyes searching the horizon. A breath taken in time with the waves. Sit a while and watch a small flock of birds dip and rise over the water. Their flight is a tidy script written on the page of the sky, erased and written again with each pass. The birds do not concern themselves with beginnings or endings. They move from hunger to satiation, from call to response, from wind to wing. In their rhythm is the wisdom of epochs. Move with what is, and you will arrive at what will be. As the light lengthens, you rise and follow a narrow track toward a headland where short grass grows in velour, patches between stones. Here, the sea hits in slow pulses, not with violence but with insistence, reminding the land of their long conversation. You find a hollow in the rock that fits you perfectly, as if made for a body to rest in and watch the sky. Settle there. The stone is cool, but as you relax into it, it warms to your shape, and you too, it's you, listen. The world speaks, but not in words. It speaks in continuities, crest to trough, gust to lull, sparkle to shade. Close your eyes and allow the scene to remain without you attending it, like a beloved book that reads itself. In the quiet behind your eyes, a new place gathers, a plateau at twilight, ringed by low hills, a small fire in the center, its flames more glow than flame. Figures sit around it in ease. They speak in tones that are soft, even in laughter. Their faces are calm, their hands busy with simple craft, twisting fibers, smoothing a bowl, mending a net. They are not in a hurry. They do not measure the moment by what it must become. They rest inside it, and the moment rests inside them. Perhaps these figures belong to a time we know by other names. Perhaps they belong to a time with no names left. It doesn't matter. What matters is that the human gesture, tending, mending, listening, has always been here. If the faces change, the hands know. If the words are lost, the warmth remains. And around them, the plateau holds its breath the way a friend holds a secret, not to hide it, but to honor it. The fire sinks to embers. The first stars appear. One of the figures lifts their eyes and traces a line between two lights in the sky, then two more, until a shape emerges that means home. Another hums a thread of a song so simple that it could be the offspring of silence itself. Their breaths slow to match the rhythm of that tune, and the tune slows to match the rhythm of night, and night slows until it becomes a pool where sleep drifts easily as a leaf. You open your eyes. The headland is quiet. The sea keeps it slow. Counsel. The sky has deepened by a shade that might be called peace. You stand, stretch like a cat in sunlight, and begin back along the track, remembering nothing in particular and everything in general. The way stone and water share a boundary without dispute. The way wind writes and rewrites the same sentence. In grasses, the way a path asks nothing more than that you walk it. At a notch in the land, the track turns inland toward a small valley. In the valley stands a single tree, tall and balanced, a precise equation of trunk and branch, root and leaf. Stand with it a while. Let your spine learn its lesson. Rise by being grounded. Let your breath move up and down through you, as if along a trunk, distributing ease to every limb and leaf. Trees do not decide whether they are first or last in any sequence of growth. They simply extend themselves toward light and water, and rest when night asks them to. You too can turn toward what nourishes and release what does not. It is a very old knowledge, and it is always new. As the last of the day melts into evening, the valley gathers a mild blue. A creek threads silver through the grass, and small moths begin their patient work of visiting trumpet-shaped flowers. The first owl speaks, a single, rounded note that feels like a hand smoothing a wrinkle from fabric. Another answers from farther off. Between them, a space opens that is not empty, but welcoming. In that space, you lie down upon the gentle earth, and listen to your own breathing align with the breathing of the world. Thoughts loosen into strands of silk and drift outward. If they catch on a twig or a star, they do so lightly and let go again. There is nothing to hold. The question that brought you here, that old, kind question about whether we are the first, has become what it was always meant to be. A lantern hung at the edge of a path, so that the path can be seen. The lantern does not need to speak. Its light is enough. Now allow the scene to soften until it is only the feeling of it. Earth beneath, sky above, breath moving, heart easing. Let the feeling soften further until it is only the ease. Let the ease widen until it is the size of the night, until you cannot tell where your calm ends and the world's calm begins. Rest here. This is older than any city, older than any story about a city. This is the foundation upon which all lives, all eras, all civilizations resound, to which they return, not as loss, but as completion. And in this completion there is a promise, simple as a tide, that what needs to come will come, and what needs to go will go, and what needs to stay will stay. You are part of that promise. You are carried by it, even now, on a current that asks nothing of you, except to allow its kindness to be felt. Sleep gathers at the edges. Welcome it, as you would a dear friend, walking up a familiar path, lantern in hand, smiling already because the door is open. Let it cross the threshold. Let it sit beside you. Let it dim the light, draw the covers of night a little closer, and place in your palm the small, smooth stone of peace. Keep it as long as you like. It is very old, and it never wears out.